Hi everyone, Kevin here. Today, Google announced a major AI update coming to Gmail, and this is one of the biggest changes we've seen in years. Gmail can now summarize long email threads, let you ask your inbox questions in plain English, help you write your emails in your own tone, and even show you what actually matters in your inbox. In this video, I'll walk you through all the new AI features, which ones are free and which ones are paid. Before we jump in, here's the reason behind all of this. Email itself really hasn't changed that much over the past few decades, but the amount of email we get has exploded. These updates are Google's answer to inbox overload. Let's start with the first feature. The first one is AI overviews for email threads, and this one is free for everyone. Here in Gmail, I have a long email thread with lots of different replies. It goes on and on. Now, of course, I could go through and read everything to get caught up, but I don't have time for that. I need to bake some cookies. Instead, at the top, I get what's called an AI overview. This gives me a quick summary that brings me up to speed, so that way I don't have to scroll through and read every message. This is especially useful for group emails or long-running threads. The next set of features is all about writing emails both faster and also better. And these are also available to everyone at no cost. I've clicked into this email, and down at the very bottom, I see a suggested response. In the past, you might have seen these short, generic replies, but now Gmail looks at the entire context of the conversation and suggests replies that match your tone and also writing style. I can now click on this suggested response, and here I can now make edits if I want, and then I could send it. Now, I found that this is especially helpful for quick back and forth emails. Like, let's say you're coordinating plans, maybe answering follow-ups, or replying from your phone. The replies feel much more natural than the old smart replies. If you want more help than that, there's something called Help Me Write. Here I am in a blank new email message, and I'd like to send a customer a thank you note for touring my cookie factory. One thing that I always struggle with is starting from a blank slate. Now, there are a few ways that I could get around that. You'll notice at the top that I have this hint to press the / for Help Me Write. Here, if I press the /, you'll notice that there's a prompt box at the bottom of the screen. Before I type anything in, let's click Cancel because there are also a few other ways to get there. Down at the bottom, I could also click on this Gemini icon with the pencil. And you'll also notice when I hover over it, there's a shortcut key Alt-H. So if I click on this, I get that same prompt box. Many different ways to get to the same functionality. Now here, I could type in my prompt. Thank my customer, Nelson, for visiting the Kevin Cookie Company and for touring our factory. On the right-hand side, I'll click on Create. Right on top, I can see some sample output. And honestly, I think this looks really good. Now, down at the bottom, I can also refine the output. So over here, we could refine by formalizing, elaborating, or even shortening the messages. Now, also, I could revisit the prompt and try again. So right up on top, I could click into here and I could add in additional details, or I could also remove some information. All in all, though, I think this looks good. So down below, I could click on Insert. Now, I find this is especially useful when you're staring at a blank message or maybe just want to get a first draft done quickly. The next feature is called Proofread, and this one requires a Google AI Pro or Ultra subscription. Now, Proofread is different from Help Me Write. Instead of generating an email for you from scratch, it focuses on improving something that you've already written. Here, I have a draft email open. With Proofread, Gmail suggests improvements to grammar, word choice, tone, and also clarity. You'll notice that I have all these different underlines in my message. So let's try clicking on this one. Here it says I can make this more concise. I think that sounds better, so let me click on that. Over here, let's click on this one. Simplify the sentence. Yep, I think that sounds better. Over here, I could correct the grammar. So I got all these different recommendations throughout my text. Now, I could accept the suggestions I want, or I could ignore things that I don't. This helps the message sound more polished and also like something you'd actually want to send. All in all, this is still my message. I personally think it's just cleaner and also a little bit more refined. The next feature is one of my favorites, but this one also requires a paid subscription. One challenge I've always had is finding specific information in my email. For example, who was the electrician I worked with a few months back? Now, here in Gmail, I could go up to the search field on the top of the page and I could enter my question in plain English. So let's try, who was the electrician I worked with on installing the EV charger earlier this year? And now I could simply ask my question. Gmail uses AI to scan my inbox and shows me a direct answer at the top. Let's click on Show More, and here I can see exactly who I worked with, instead of just a list of emails that I have to open and then read and parse myself. Those summarize a single conversation, while here, this looks across your entire inbox to find answers. Now, I find this is especially useful for emails or conversations you remember, but you don't want to hunt them down manually. The last feature that we're going to look at today is called AI Inbox, and this one is currently rolling out to trusted testers. Over on the left-hand side, you'll notice the new AI Inbox. Let's click into this. When I switch into the AI inbox, instead of a traditional list of emails, Google gives me a quick snapshot of what actually needs my attention. I like to think of it as a dashboard showing me what's most important. Now, right here at the top, I can see suggested to-dos. These are things that Gmail has pulled out of my inbox that likely require action. Here, as an example, I need to sign a contract, and it even references the specific emails that I can go back to. That's pretty cool. Now, below that, I have topics to catch up on. Instead of individual emails, Gmail groups related messages together and gives me a short summary, like business planning updates, travel or installation details, YouTube-related updates, and subscriptions. The big difference here is that I don't have to scan my entire inbox to figure out what's important. Gmail is already organizing it for me. So that way, I can quickly see what needs action and what I might want to review later. From my testing, this doesn't entirely replace your inbox. Instead, it complements your inbox. And it can help you prioritize and also make sure that things don't fall through the cracks. These new Gmail AI features are starting to roll out now in the US, beginning in English, with more languages and also regions coming over time. Now, some features are still in early access, like AI Inbox, so availability may vary and you may not see it right away. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which feature you're most excited about. If you want more tips like this, be sure to subscribe.